Hey, it's Ali from A-hAAN.co.uk. This video is for anyone who's ever thought about trying 4K HDR with a 10 meter HDMI cable. I've tried it recently and this is what happened. I get a flashing screen, everything's jittery, and it's just a really bad experience. But I've got a great solution for you. Let's check it out. A company called Fibre reached out to me and sent me a 10 meter Fibre HDMI cable. Now, I'm used to working with Fibre in my work life as a network engineer, but I've never really come across an HDMI with Fibre cable built in. It's unique. So as you can see here, next to it is a standard HDMI cable. Check out the thickness. You have to use tons of shielding to keep the signal in, whereas if you look at the Fibre cable, it's really thin and really flexible as well. Believe it or not, both of these cables are exactly the same length. It doesn't look like it, does it? The Fibre cable from Fibre isn't bidirectional. What that means is one side will have to go into the source and the other side will have to go into your display. Let's find out what happens when I plug in the standard HDMI cable into my PC with a 1080 Ti, and let's see if it can output 4K HDR at 60 frames per second. I wasn't off to a good start. If you've ever tried to deal with Cat7 Ethernet cable, you'll know how bad it is to move around and maneuver with. This is a lot worse. Plugging it into things was a hassle just because it was so awkward. Now imagine if you were trying to install this into a wall. It would be endless pain. We're off to a good start. We've got a picture at least. I know in the past I've tried it with my previous graphics cards and I couldn't even get a picture in 4K at all. Whereas this time I could. But I did notice, even when I haven't enabled HDR, which I'm just about to do, it was very jittery. The screen didn't seem smooth. The frame rate was a bit off. And as soon as I enabled HDR, this kept happening. Clearly incapable of doing 4K HDR at 60 frames per second. Let's see how the Fibre HDMI from Fibre compares with the standard HDMI. Like I said earlier, the Fibre HDMI isn't bidirectional, so this side goes into the source, which is the PC in this case, and then the other side into the TV. And straight away, HDR, and I waited for a second and there was no flashing at all. So this is a stark contrast to how the standard HDMI behaved. Straight away I could tell that the performance was perfect. It was seamless. It was as if it was a 1 meter cable rather than a 10 meter cable. I couldn't fault it one bit. So I thought, let's see if I can push it to a maximum. So I increased the resolution to 4096 by 2160. It's a little higher than 4K, but I thought, hey, what the heck, let's try it out. And once I did, perfect. I tried a few things that I would usually do on the 4K TV. Play a few films and play a few games. Everything I did on it worked perfectly fine. Couldn't fault it once. So the conclusion is, if you're looking to do the same thing as I am, which is running cables from one room to another through the walls, don't buy anything cheap from Amazon. I recommend buying the Fibre HDMI Fibre cable. I'll leave my affiliate links in the description. If you choose to buy from there, it will really help this channel out without any extra cost to you. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you found it useful, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe. Take it easy.